It took less than a week. 1 week to turn the second largest crypto exchange on Earth into a smoking crater. In early November 2022, FTX was valued at around $32 billion. Celebrities endorsed it. Senators took its money. Its founder was hailed as the most generous, most brilliant young man in finance, a billionaire who wore cargo shorts to meetings with the heads of state and slept on a beanbag in the office. And then, almost overnight, roughly $8 billion in customer money simply was not there. Vanished. Around 1 million people who had trusted FTX with their savings woke up to find the withdrawal button no longer worked. This is the story of how Sam Bankman-Fried built one of the most celebrated fortunes of his generation, and how, prosecutors would later argue, it was rotten from the inside the whole time. I am Onyx, and this is Fortune and Ruin TV, the channel where we trace the true stories of how the greatest fortunes ever built turned to ruin. If you are new here, welcome. Now let us get into it. To understand the fall, you have to start with the myth. Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF, as the world came to call him, was the son of 2 Stanford law professors. He studied physics at MIT. He was, by every account, frighteningly good with numbers. After graduating, he landed at Jane Street Capital, one of the most secretive and elite trading firms on Wall Street, where he learned the cold mathematics of arbitrage. Buy low in one place, sell high in another. Pocket the difference. Do it 1,000,000 times a second. That was the game. Then he spotted something strange in the world of cryptocurrency. Bitcoin was trading at a higher price in Japan than in the United States, a gap traders called the Kimchi premium. To most people, that gap was noise. To SBF, it was free money, if you could move fast enough and at enough scale. In 2017, he founded a trading firm called Alameda Research, and reportedly began moving enormous sums to capture that spread. At one point, allegedly shifting tens of millions of dollars a day across borders. The legend was born, the boy genius who saw what no one else could. In 2019, he founded FTX, a slick, fast crypto exchange built for traders. And here is where you should know something about us. If you want the full anatomy of how fortunes turn to ruin, the real mechanics, not the headlines, this is the channel where we tell those stories all the way down to the bone. Stay with me because the genius part is only the beginning. FTX grew at a speed that defied belief. And SBF understood something deeper than trading. He understood image. He understood that in a world drowning in scams, the most valuable currency was trust, and he set out to buy it. FTX paid a reported $135 million to put its name on the Miami Heat's arena. It ran a Super Bowl ad starring comedian Larry David, the joke being that doubting FTX was as foolish as doubting the wheel. Tom Brady was a partner. Gisele Bündchen. The message was relentless: FTX is safe. FTX is the adult in the room. Then there was the philosophy. SBF preached something called effective altruism, the idea that you should earn as much money as humanly possible, so you can give it all away to save the world. He told reporters he planned to give away his entire fortune. He drove a modest car. He became, in the press, not just a billionaire but a kind of saint. And he spent lavishly in Washington, becoming one of the largest political donors in America, buying influence on both sides of the aisle. The boy in cargo shorts was now whispering in the ears of regulators who were supposed to be watching him. But underneath the arena lights and the Super Bowl glamour, something was wrong. Because FTX was never really one company. It had a twin, Alameda Research, that trading firm SBF had founded years earlier. 2 companies, one man controlling both. And according to prosecutors, the wall that was supposed to separate them, the wall protecting customer money, barely existed at all. At the center of it sat a token called FTT. FTX had created FTT essentially out of thin air, and much of Alameda's balance sheet, investigators later said, was propped up by this token its sister company had invented. Think about that. A trading firm claiming to be worth billions, with that worth resting largely on a coin its own affiliate printed. As long as everyone believed, it held. Belief was the only thing holding it up. And here is the second thing worth saying out loud. If you find yourself leaning in right now, wondering how nobody saw it, that instinct is exactly why this channel exists. Subscribe and you'll never miss the moment an empire's foundation turns to sand. In early November 2022, the crypto news outlet CoinDesk published a story about a leaked balance sheet, Alameda's, and what it showed was alarming. The firm's financial health appeared dangerously tied to FTT, the token FTX had conjured. To the ordinary reader, it was dry, technical. To the sharks of the crypto world, it was blood in the water. Among them was Changpeng Zhao, CZ, the founder of Binance, the largest crypto exchange on the planet and SBF's chief rival. Binance happened to hold a large pile of FTT. And on November 6, CZ lit the match. He announced that Binance would liquidate its entire FTT holdings, citing recent revelations, and added pointedly that they would try to do so in a way that minimized market impact. Translation: we're getting out. You should be afraid. Panic detonated. The price of FTT began to crater, and customers across the world rushed to pull their money out of FTX while they still could. A bank run. The oldest financial nightmare there is. And on November 7, with the ground opening beneath him, Sam Bankman-Fried logged onto Twitter and posted 6 words that would haunt him forever. FTX is fine. Assets are fine. He assured everyone the platform had enough to cover all holdings, that withdrawals were processing. He would later delete the tweet. Because it was not fine. It was the opposite of fine. Within 48 hours, the truth tore through the floor. FTX could not honor the withdrawals. The money customers thought was sitting safely in their accounts had, according to court filings, been funneled to Alameda Research and gambled, spent, and lost. Prosecutors would later allege that customer deposits, billions of dollars belonging to ordinary people, had been used to cover Alameda's bad bets, to buy real estate, to fund those political donations, to prop up the whole illusion. The whole was estimated at around $8 billion. On November 11, 2022, FTX filed for bankruptcy. SBF resigned. The $32 billion empire was gone, and roughly 1 million creditors were left staring at the wreckage. What followed was the reckoning. In December 2022, SBF was arrested in the Bahamas and extradited to the United States to face fraud and conspiracy charges. He pleaded not guilty. His trial in the autumn of 2023 became one of the most watched financial trials in modern history, and the most devastating testimony came from someone who had once stood beside him. Caroline Ellison, the former CEO of Alameda Research and SBF's one-time girlfriend, took the stand as a cooperating witness. She told the jury in plain and shattering language that they had taken customer money and that SBF had directed it. She admitted to crimes. She implicated the man she had loved. There was no spreadsheet that could spin that away. In November 2023, the jury reached its verdict. On all 7 counts, Sam Bankman-Fried was found guilty. The boy genius, the would-be saint, the man who preached giving it all away, a jury had decided he was a fraud on a historic scale. And in March 2024, a judge sentenced him to 25 years in prison. So what does it mean? Strip away the cargo shorts and the beanbags and the Super Bowl ads, and the FTX story is as old as money itself. It is a story about trust, how slowly it is earned, how cheaply it can be bought, and how completely it can be weaponized. SBF understood that if enough credible people vouch for you, the crowd stops asking the only question that matters. Where exactly is my money? The genius was never really in the trading. It was in the performance. And here, at the very end, is the last thing I'll ask of you, because if these stories of money, power, and collapse pull at something in you, follow along, and we'll keep telling the ones the powerful would rather you forget. Empires don't fall because their enemies are strong. They fall because, somewhere deep inside, they were always hollow. And it only takes 1 week, 1 tweet, and 1 honest question for the whole thing to come crashing down. And that is where we will leave it. If this story pulled you in, do 2 things for me. Check out the other collapses we have documented on this channel, and subscribe, so you are here when the next empire falls. I am Onyx. Thank you for watching Fortune and Ruin TV, and I will see you in the next one.